what's happening? DJ here. We're about to.
Okay. Can you hear me? All right. What is up, you guys? It is Friday morning. Hopefully, y'all can hear me pretty well. Apologies for the technical difficulties after restarting multiple computers and phones. We are ready and live. All right, so today I'm going to be taking you through a full body workout, absolutely no equipment needed. And we're going to be focusing on our lower body, upper body, and core, of course. Specifically today, we're going to be doing a lot of isometric holds, which really just means we're going to be holding under tension. So let's go ahead and get started with some quick warm-ups. So if you haven't already, make sure you start your watch. All right, so we're going to go begin with some jumping jacks. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, after 20, we're going to then come down and do a nice side-to-side lunge. Just kind of get ourselves nice and moving, and we're going to go jump right back into our jumping jacks. We're going to do a few rounds of these, and as we continue to warm up. And on every lunge, try to see if you can get a little bit lower. All right. And let's go back to our jumping jacks. We'll do 20. All right, this time we're going to be doing some hamstring scoops. So we're going to go forward, reach down like we're trying to scoop something off the floor, and then looking back up. So switch sides. And we're going to go 10 on each side. Depending where you're watching this from, it could be 5:30 in the morning if you are in Mountain Standard Time, like in Phoenix, Arizona, or in Denver. Could also be about 1:30 p.m. if you are calling from Central European Time. So we'll get those hamstring scoops. Make sure you nice feel that deep stretch in our hamstring. You've been sitting all day. This is a great exercise. And we'll go for our last one here. And then back to jumping jacks. All right. Next, we're going to do our, generally can do this as a walking windmill, but since we're in a place here, we're going to go take 1 foot forward with the opposite hand. We're going to drop down, and then we're going to look up, look up. And the point of this one is really the rotation in your thoracic spine. So it's not so much about reaching as far down as you can, but really just enough, but focusing on that nice rotation. So we'll do a few on each side. All right, and with that, we'll go ahead and come down here on our floor. So we're going to do some cat-cow movements. So this is going to be awesome for your, again, thoracic spine, your neck mobility. So let me just make sure we are in line and frame. All right. Cool, cool, cool. And in case you're ever wondering if you want to do live streams, I don't recommend on relying on your iPhone camera because you know what? Sometimes that continuity just does not work. All right, so cat-cow. We're going to be doing here is we're going to be taking a nice big inhale, looking up at the ceiling. And on the exhale, we're going to then be bringing our upper body up. We're going to be doing a nice clean movement. So we're going to go ahead and do that a few times. Let's go ahead and begin. All right, next we're going to go ahead and go into our thoracic spine rotation. So again, we're really focusing on a lot of movements before we start doing some isometric holds because we really just want to warm our body up before we get into something a little bit harder. So again, on our floors, we're going to be reaching down over and then coming back up. And so we're going to do 10 on each side. All right, got 10. We'll go and switch sides. Okay, awesome. We got our upper body nice and unlocked. Let's go ahead and follow that love down to our bottom lower body. So we're gonna come down in this like sitting position. And so we're gonna be basically just bringing our hips over and coming back to the other side. And you wanna make sure we're doing these in a nice controlled movement. So we're gonna hold these for about 40 seconds here. We're gonna hang out here. Yeah, you'll notice if you don't do these after a little bit, you'll feel a little like you got to get oiled up or something. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. We're oiling our body up so we feel less stiff. We can get bigger range of motion as we're doing our workouts. All right, we are just about half done. Hips should be feeling nice and loose enough. All right. So happy Friday. Soak this Friday, end of the week. All right, we are at 40 seconds. All right, next, we're gonna go and jump into our workout. So we're gonna go kind of a circuit base today. So we're gonna begin with some squats. lunges, and then upper body as well. We're going to be doing a quick little mix of everything. So I'll first go through the exercise, and then we'll go ahead and do them together. So first, we're going to begin with 10 air squats. And after the 10 air squats, we're going to then keep a 20-second hold, just like this. All right, once we go ahead and do that, we're going to then come into a push-up position. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing scapular push-ups. So what that means is that we're going to really just be working our scapula. So a little bit like this, we're going to come down and back up. So down and back up. You want to basically avoid bending your elbows at a big rotation. So we want to have a slight bend, but we don't want to be coming down as if we're doing a full-on extended push-up. All right. Then once we do those, we're going to do 10 of those. We're going to come back and we're going to do lunge step backs. So going back 1, 2, 2. We're going to do 10 on each side. So let's go ahead and get started. Grab some water if you don't already. I'm going to grab a quick timer. All right, let's get that timer going. There we go. All right, so we're going to be going. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're going to come down and hold for those nice 20 seconds. Don't forget to breathe. Halfway done. We got 10 more seconds here. All right, 20 seconds is over. Let's get into our scapular push-up position. So again, we're going to have a slight bend on our elbows, and let's come down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, next we're going to be doing our reverse lunges. So we'll begin here. And we want these to be nice and controlled. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Shake it off, shake it off. Switch sides. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we're going to take a nice 40-second break here. Grab some water if you need some. Hope everyone's enjoying their workout this morning. We got 20 more second rest time. All right, let's get back into our squatting position. All right, let's go ahead and let's go for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. This time we're going to hold in here. So hold it for 20 seconds. Don't forget to breathe. All right, 10 more seconds here. 10 more seconds. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! I don't care what you say. At-home body workouts, you can still get really good sweat in. So there really is no excuse to not get movement in every single day. All right, back to our push-up position. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Next up, we got our reverse lunges. I know this is everybody's favorite. I know it's my favorite. All right, let's go ahead and begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so as we come up, I really want you to focus on squeezing those glutes in the back. Really make that mind-muscle connection. Our glutes are, fun fact, our largest muscle in the body, but probably not really that used, especially with office workers sitting down most of the day. Like they say, if you don't use it, you lose it. All right, 2 more here. And we got a nice 40-second break coming up. All right, you are doing awesome. Go ahead and break for 40 seconds. Take a nice breather. Hopefully our audio is working unlike last time. All right, I'm getting a nod from our operations director of operations. All right, fam, we got 2 more rounds left, and we'll go ahead and move on to the next exercises. All right, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go back to our squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're going to hold it here for 20 seconds. Get nice and comfortable. Hopefully you're a little bit lower than you were on the first couple of rounds. All right, 5 more seconds. All right, let's go ahead and switch. All right, push-up position, and let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, we're gonna move on to our reverse lunges. How's the music, by the way? Music too loud, too loud, too low? Oh, that's good. It's a good thing we can't really hear the music. That means we can't get called out for copyright music in the background. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew, that heart rate is up right now. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's take a 40-second break. We'll come back for our last round. Is there really a better way to get your Friday started? I don't think so. Hopefully I'm not scaring out any neighbors, but no, it is what it is. All right, anyone got fun weekend plans? Drop them in the comments. Let's see what y'all are working on this weekend or getting into. It's springtime here in Phoenix, so we got a bunch of festivals going on. So it's a good time. All right, last round, everybody. Squats, let's go. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Last one here, 20 seconds, 20 seconds. Don't hate me, but we're going to go for 30 seconds on this one. I know you can do it. Focus on that breath. There's no other place you'd rather be than here right now. You could be watching Netflix. You could be listening to a podcast. But you chose to be here, so let's get to work. All right, come out of that squat. Shake it off, shake it off. Let's jump into our scapula push-ups. All right, these are also a great beginner push-up exercise if you can't get a push-up just yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, I am sweating. All right, so our last lunges here. So get in position. And remember, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your core. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch it up. All right, that was, we won't call that one. Always count only good reps. 1, because at the end of the day, you're only cheating yourself. Whew. All right, let's see what we do there. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's take a 1-minute break. We'll be coming back, getting ready for the next exercises. All right, next for our next round. So I'm going to do a quick demo. Sorry, spacing here. All right, we're going to do a quick demo of the exercises, and we'll do 4 rounds. So first one we're going to be doing is we're going to be coming down, and we're going to be holding a side plank. So we'll be holding this side plank for 40 seconds. And right after, we'll be switching to our other side, holding for that plank, 40 seconds. We're going to be working our shoulders and our core especially. All right, from there, we're going to take similar position. We're going to go down, and we're going to be doing some glute bridges. So again, with this one, before we begin the glute bridge, you want to make sure you have a nice posterior tilt. So all that means is just you're bringing your core to the ground so there's no spacing underneath. As we have that, we're contracting our core, and then we are pushing up off of our heels. If for whatever reason you feel mostly on your hamstrings, a way to make sure we feel it in the glutes, you can either bring in your feet closer to your body, or you can also bring your toes up. So this will really isolate the glutes for you. And then lastly, because we can't forget our upper body, we're going to then be going into a Superman hold. So we'll be holding like this for 40 seconds. All right, hopefully you don't have any questions because we're going to go ahead and get started. So let me grab my timer out here. And so, all right, make sure we are in nice position for the camera. And let's go ahead and be, whoa, just kidding. All right, let's go ahead and begin the 40 seconds. You can also bring your hands up, really whatever you want to do with them, but focus on that core contraction and your breath. All right, we got 10 more seconds on this side, and we're going to switch it up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo, nice job. Let's go ahead and switch. All right, get in a position, and we'll go ahead and lift up. 40 seconds starts now. All right, we got 20 more seconds here. We are halfway done with our planks for this round. 10 more seconds. You got this. Really contract. Squeeze everything you got. All right. You come back down. Hi. Neighbors walking by. All right, let's get back in our glute position, and we're going to go for a 10 down here. So making sure got my posterior pelvic tilt. Can't get anything in between. All right, with that, I'm going to go ahead and lift. We're going to pause here for 2 seconds for 1, 2, and then come back down. And let's do that 9 more times. 2. All right, that should be 7. We're coming up on 8. 9 and 10. All right, let's go ahead and move into our Superman position. So coming back out, we're gonna basically again bring our entire body up. And so reaching out, and we'll start at the even mark here. So let's go, 40 seconds here. Should be feeling like you are flying like Superman. All right, we are halfway done, 10 more seconds. All right, relax. We got 40-second rest here. All right, we're gonna do that 3 more times. All right, we are getting through it, y'all. Sun is coming out. All right, we got about 10 seconds left. Let's get back into our positions. Back to our side plank. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, we got 20 seconds left. We are halfway done. Feel that core contraction. And the shoulders are definitely getting worked out here as well. 10 more seconds. All right. This is good, it's good. Switch sides. All right. And let's go back up. 40 seconds here. You got a towel, would probably recommend it. I know I'm already sweating. Ten more seconds. We got this, we got this. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job, everyone. All right, let's move into our glute bridge. And again, check yourself. You got that core nice and contracted. And we'll come back up for 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. More than halfway done, everybody. We are going on to 7. 1, 2. 1, 2. We got 2 left, actually. 1, 2. And last one here. 1, 2. All right, and my favorite here, let's go into our Superman hold. So come down, get into position. Make sure we got our timer working. All right, and then we'll go in about 5 seconds just to make it nice and even times. So let's reach out and stay up. So want to keep your shoulders nice below your ears. Didn't want them all the way up here below. We're halfway done. All right, 10 more seconds, 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. All right, we're gonna take a nice break here. 40 seconds. Grab some water if you haven't already. Make sure you stay hydrated. All right, 10 seconds. We are going again, everyone. Wish you could hear this song. I love this song. All right, when you are ready, we'll go ahead and begin. Raise up, 40 seconds here. We are on the, say we're on the way down now that we're mostly done with our workout today. Twenty more seconds. Five more seconds. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. All right. Go ahead and switch sides. All right, get back into our side plank position. And on 3, 1, 2, 3, we're gonna go ahead and bring those hips up and just hang here. You may notice one side is a little bit stronger than the other, more stable. All right, we are halfway done with these for this round. I don't want to lie to you and tell you that we're halfway done with all of the core, because we're not, but for this round. 2 more seconds, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Woo. All right, let's move into our glutes. All right, got that pelvic tilt nice and ready to go. And we're gonna bring it up, hold for 1, 2, and back down. Up for 1, 2, back down. All right, moving into our last exercise of this round. Going to our Superman pose. Let's go, let's go. So we'll come out and extend. We'll start in 3, 2, and 1. Bring it up, bring it up. You are Clark Kent or Wonder Woman, whatever else you want to be in between. We're going to just hang here like we are flying over the city. Gotham. That's Batman. That's not Superman. Gonna hold. We got 10 more seconds, everybody. 10 more seconds. It's cake at this point. All right, relax. And we're gonna take our last 40-second break. Last round we got coming. So take a breather, do some nice stretches, whatever you need. Walk it off. Maybe grab some fresh air, whatever you might need. Oh no, my timer went off. So we got 14 more seconds for our break. And last one, let's get into position. We don't need to start just yet, but good to get ready for it. All right, it's our last round doing these side planks. You know, I don't really like these, but they say do what you suck at. And if you don't really like these or you're not good at these, more of a reason for you to practice them. So let's go ahead and get into position on that mat, and then bring those hips up, drive them up. We got 40 seconds here, everybody. We can do this. You've done, sure, a lot more today in your long Friday, long week. Congrats to the Health Blocks team for getting their app in review with the App Store. Don't want to give anyone FOMO, but I have been using their app. I am fairly impressed with the onboarding. Really cool UI graphics, so great job to the team. All right, 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's switch sides. And same thing here. Get into a nice position and really drive those hips up. And let's go. Hold here for 40 seconds. All right, y'all, we got halfway done. 20 more seconds here, and we get to relax and do our glute bridges. We are so close. All right, 10 more seconds right here. Breathe through the movement. All right, relax. Nice job. Move into the next position. We're going to our nice glutes here. So again, really feel those glutes as we come up. And we're going to finish off with some pulses, so don't hate me. But we're going to get a nice peachy butt after this workout. We'll come back up and back down. So up for 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Halfway done. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And 1, 2. 1, 2. Last one here. All right. So we're going to go on our pulses here. We're going to hold the pulses for 30 seconds. So what that means is we're going to just be going little micro movements up and down. We're going to really feel the burn here. So we're going to go here for 20 seconds. Because if you do it too long, then it kind of no longer really does the point of the burn, because it's supposed to be for a short increment of time. So really pulse, 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 pulse. All right, 10 more seconds here. Really contract those glutes. Think of your glutes as one of the most important muscles in your whole body. Your glutes and your core generally need the most work. See a lot of that in our PT clinic, folks coming in with back pain, shoulder pain, sciatica. Not to say that everything is core and glutes, but let's just say most of these people could be feeling much better if they had a stronger core and glute. So we'll go ahead and go into our Supermans. And let's go ahead and open up. And we are up. 40 seconds here. Glutes are still kind of pulsing after that. All right, we are 25% done with this Superman hold. Halfway done. Five more seconds. All right, we're going to take a 1 minute break here, and because we did get started a little bit late, we're going to be moving on because we're doing our full 60 minutes, baby. Just because the tech doesn't work out doesn't mean that we're not working out for that full duration. So we'll be back in about 50 seconds. Grab some water if you need any. All right. Well, looking for you, we are going to be kind of moving into our cool down movements. So next, we're going to work on our balance because without balance, we really can't do anything. So we're going to first begin with a cat dog. We'll start here and we're going to move out and then come back in. So if that one's a little bit too easy, you can always come out and then touch your knee to elbow to knee. We're going to just hang out here. So we'll do 10 on each side. And then after that, what we're going to then go into is we call this a squat to hamstring. So we're going to start here and then we're going to come up. And we're going to do this movement for about 40 seconds. All right, so this is really great because we have been working that posterior chain, which really just means your back muscles, literally glutes, hamstrings, shoulders. So we'll be doing that movement for 20 seconds. And then we're going to finish off with some frog pumps. So these are a little awkward, but promise they feel really good. We'll bring our knees out wider than shoulder width apart. And then we're going to just come back and lean forward. And so we'll lean here and come back down. And so we can also do a child's pose and move from frog pose. So actually, let's go ahead and do that. We'll move from frog pose to child's pose. So let's go ahead and begin with the cat dog position first. Got a minor foot cramp. All right. So let's go ahead and begin. All right. So we'll go. And we're going to stay on one side so we can kind of focus on that stability aspect of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. Switch sides, switch sides. All right, coming out, come back in. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Next, we're going to move into that squat to hamstring. So I mentioned we'll be doing this for 40 seconds. So let's get the timer ready. And again, these are nice continuous movements. It's not really about the speed here. It's really just about getting our nice stretch in. So we'll start here, kind of like we're going for a deep squat, and then we'll bring our hips up. Hopefully you're a little bit looser than you were when you begun today's workout. All right, we got 10 more seconds here. All right, nice job. We'll go ahead and move to our next position here. I'm kind of blanking right now. What did we just say was our next position? Oh, frog pumps to child's pose. All right, sometimes the workout high, you know what I mean? All right, so we'll have our knees wider than shoulder width apart, and we're going to basically just come out here into child's pose and then forward, making sure those hips are nice and open for a nice deep stretch, and then back. We're going to do this for 40 seconds. So focus on your breath. Your movement might look a little bit different than mine. You may be more flexible, you may be less flexible. Do what you can. Always listen to your body, of course. All right, we'll take a nice break here for 30 seconds, and we'll do that entire repetition once more, and then we'll go into more of our static stretches after this. So hopefully your heart rate should have decreased by now just a bit, but you should also be feeling a lot more limber. So the thing about exercise, really just getting physical activity movement in, is that you should always leave better than you started. If you leave today's session and you are pooped, like you cannot move, probably pushed a little bit too hard, which, you know, is very counterintuitive, because a lot of things in life that we do, the more we do them, the more reps we get in, the more hours we get in, the better we get at them. But for exercise, it's a little bit different, because you need to be able to balance the recovery time with how much stress you're putting your body in. So if this is your first time working out, or you just have kind of been at it for a few weeks, it's okay to go a little bit lighter, you know, nobody's watching other than you. And so it's really just your own movement, and take care of yourself, because this is supposed to be something you do forever, hopefully most days than not. And if you go too hard, you may not want to do that tomorrow or the day after, right? Kind of speak yourself out from working out, which I know can happen to a lot of people. So let's go ahead and get back into our movements here. All right. Sorry, y'all, just got this foot cramp that has not gone away. It's probably a little nutrient deficient here, some magnesium. I am not a doctor, don't listen to me. All right, let's go ahead and go out with our balances. And maybe this time you're feeling a little bit A little bit better. You can bring that elbow to knee in. Got more movement in that now that we've done a few more exercises to loosen us out. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's go ahead and switch sides here. All right, we're gonna push through that cramp pain. All right, wait, no, I just did that side. All right, so we'll come back over. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, next one we're going to be doing, oops, sorry about that. Next, we're going to be doing our child to frog pumps. So again, this is a full movement. We're not going to be holding anything just yet. That's on our next section. So bring those knees out and open, come back into a child's pose, and then frog pump. So really feel those hips open up. We'll come back down. We'll go for 40 seconds here. And try to do your best to move with your breath. So as we're in this position, for example, we'll be exhaling and then inhale as we come back out. All right, we'll go ahead and finish off there. And so next, what I want you to do is, first of all, congratulations. We have made it through 56 minutes of today's workout, so you should be very proud of yourself. Now we get to relax and really enjoy the best part of the workout is to kind of sit here. We're going to focus on our breath. We can close our eyes and just focus on some nice deep and controlled breaths. I like to always keep my hands placed over my chest and my belly. And we'll do some belly breathing here. So we're going to go with 5 belly breathings, which just means as you inhale, you're going to be bringing in that oxygen and we're going to be expanding our belly. This is also called diaphragmatic breathing, if you want to Google that. But I like calling it belly breathing because it's a little bit more fun and easier to say. So we'll go ahead and begin with a nice inhale. And so with the idea here is we want to feel that stomach should be, your lower hand should be coming up before your upper hand. So as we do that, and then as we exhale, it should be the same movement pattern. So my bottom hand should be moving up and down before my top hand is moving. So I'm going to be quiet for 5 breaths, but I'll trust you can do this as well. So let's go ahead and begin. All right, that should be 5 breaths. I already feel a lot more zened out after that. forget how important these kind of things are. So from here, we're going to go ahead and bring our legs out in front of us, and we'll keep a nice wide grip between our, not grip, we'll just bring our legs out in front of us. And so what I want you to focus here is leaning forward, but really we're going to be bending at our hips. So I don't want you to be hunched over. So think of your back, think of it as a rag doll, where the only place of movement you really have is your hips. So as you can see, I'm pretty stiff right now, so can't get too much movement. But what I am going to do is I'm going to be rocking back and forth, nice and controlled. And with each breath, I'm going to try to bend just a little bit further and using my hands as a nice support. Even your water too, like if you've got something you can actually roll on, it does help a little bit, kind of getting that movement in. But if not, honestly, just moving your hands up and down the mat also works. So we'll go ahead and do 10 of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. So we are basically finished here, but I'm going to just do one little bow neck exercise I like to do. I'll kind of go on the side here, a little bit easier to see. But we're going to bring one leg up and over, and we're going to then just sit down here. You're going to feel a really nice deep contraction, stretch here on your glutes. So we're going to hang here. I like to hang for about 30 seconds on each side, twice, so I make sure I get a full minute of stretching in. So I'm going to just bring up my timer so I know how long I'm here for. And it gets a little bit easier. You can always bring your ankle a little bit further down your leg and get yourself a little bit further standing up. Feel a little bit of a deeper stretch. So we'll go ahead and switch. So, all right. So as you can see, I'm definitely a lot tighter on my right than I am on my left. So I'll hang here for 30 seconds. Might have to bring my hands out a little bit more to make this a little bit more comfortable. All right, and then just relax. This is the best part about stretching, is you find that one sweet spot and you get to hang and just breathe. All right, we're gonna go ahead and switch sides and then do our last 30 seconds here. So that second time around, you should feel a little bit more range of motion here, which I definitely do. We got 10 more seconds on this stretch. All right, now we'll bring it back over and switch our sides. So we'll go ahead and begin here, 30 seconds. All right, we're gonna call it here and we'll come out. And that is what I got for you, everybody. So thanks so much for, if you're still here, if I can get this mic out. All right, thanks so much for hanging out and going through that workout with me. I had a really great time, and thank you, Health Blocks. If you haven't already, make sure you check them out at healthblocks.ai. They're working on some pretty cool stuff. Get all your biometrics together, give yourself a really good plan. Who doesn't want that? All right, have a great Friday, everyone. Bye.